stack it up, I gotta build up the bank to make me a safe.
Phil at Heavy Duty Hustle. This is going to be a video documenting my last back training session, my sets, my reps, what I'm doing, the thought behind it, and a little bit of posing at the end. Some of the viewers with a bit more of a keen eye will notice that I've invested in a nice little microphone as well, so hopefully the audio doesn't sound so shy either. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so starting off with lat pull downs. This was my heavy set actually. So this was actually a PB, considering that well, for those of you that are familiar with bodybuilding expressions, I'm in my cruise phase at the moment. So yeah, this was a decent set actually, like a fresh PB. I think this was on 110 kilos. Some really good form there. And what you'll notice is, like, what I always do with my back sessions, like I try and keep my back retracted and like shoulder blades, and then as I go forward, I let forward and up, I let my shoulders round forward and extend the lats out, and I find the like the recruitment of muscle fibers in the back, like it's bloody brilliant. Like all those times where you've seen PTs say to people like, oh yeah, you need to keep the back straight, shoulders locked and all this. Don't believe in that at all. Like, you've really got to let those, like, you know, if you're letting your shoulders go forward, you're engaging the lats, pulling them forward. We're a few reps into this now, but yeah, my second set, this is a little drop down set. Again, like, form's a little bit tighter here because it's lighter, and this is probably more around the 12 to 15 rep mark. But yeah, again, good form. Like, try and get as many perfect reps as possible. As you, like I said, you'll notice those shoulders, like, once the arms go straight, there's an extra few inches that go on the way up to really stretch out those lats. And then once I've exhausted the positive phase of the sets, you know, throw in some extra negative ones with some momentum and stuff. But, you know, if you're using momentum after 4 to 6 reps, far too heavy for you. Okay, on to probably the only pullover machine I've ever enjoyed. A piece of Panata kit that's been at King's for a good few months now actually. And like I said, I've used the Nautilus ones before, but never really got on with them. Always felt like a bit of a funny angle. Always felt like when I was pulling down, like it was just like my triceps were engaging. I never really felt it in my lats. But yeah, this Panata one is fucking quality actually. So yeah, this is me praying to the gods of gains by the looks of things. But I like to control my breathing just before a set. Take some real deep breaths in through the nose, and then short, sharp breaths out through the mouth, which is actually a bit of a Wim Hof technique. Supposed to over-oxygenate the blood, apparently. He did a similar thing when he was on Joe Rogan, which I found quite interesting. But you'll notice this form here, like, really, really controlled. Like, I've got 2.5 plates on either side, those being 20 plates. And you just got to make sure you're driving with your elbows. Like, I try and take a really, really light grip on the bar, and then all the force is coming through the elbows here and pushing down rather than pulling with my hands. Because like I said, otherwise, when you're pulling with your hands, you just need to start engaging your tricep. See, I'm starting to struggle here, so the form gets a little bit more momentum-like, just to eke out a couple more reps now. So yeah, another one decent in there. But yeah, I tell you what, that Nautilus machine really gets into your lats. This is another good one as well, actually. Like a low row, which is completely adjustable. You can adjust the angle of the bench and the height of the seat. Yeah, and I've got 3.5 plates on here. Really, really nice. This is one of my favourite exercises, actually. And like, you can actually breathe even though it's pulling you against that bench. But yeah, really good. Okay, seated cable rows. Oh, this is an absolute killer. One of my favourite exercises because you can really once you get your arms falling, then you can round your shoulders and again pull right through those lats and squeeze right in and retract your shoulder blade, like shoulder blades even. Such an important exercise to do and such a brilliant back builder for me. Like, so basic, you know, you just like a cable machine. One of these actually snapped on me recently in King's Crawley, and I did a back somersault off the bench, smashed my head on the fucking floor. It was I mean, and luckily there was only a couple of people in the gym, but nevertheless they saw me. I felt like a right dickhead. But my only saving grace was it was the full stack, so it's all right. But yeah, as you can see here, like instead of just once you get to this point and you bolt upright, I let myself really round forward, and you can see the lat engagement through the t-shirt there, and pulling away. Yeah, brilliant exercise. Okay, now I like to finish with bent over rows. Funnily enough, I used to start with this exercise, but it just fucking killed me because I used to row. Well, there's videos of me rowing over 200 kilos, and like not just for 1 or 2 shit reps either. Like, you know, I was putting some decent reps out on there, but it just absolutely kills you for the rest of the session. So yeah, I do it at the ends now because it's just so taxing. So this is only 100 kilos, but I try and get between 50 and 20 reps depending on how fucked I am from the session. Can't actually remember what I get here, but I should imagine is somewhere along those lines. But just keep the form really tight, pull right into your hips. Some people will say, oh yeah, it's not a proper bent over row because you're not like 45 degrees, you know, to the floor. But mate, I don't know why I said mate there, but yeah, it's the angle does not matter for me. Like, if I'm more leant over, it's pulling on my lower back, giving me a lower back pump, and that's not what I want. I want to work my upper back, my lats, you know. So don't listen to other people. Find the angle that works for you and then work with that. I used to have a shit back when I started training, and now it's probably my best asset actually. So yeah, like I said, find what works for you. Don't use a load of momentum. Work out those reps. Okay, this is post-workout posing. God, my traps were popping out actually, weren't they? So front double bicep to start with. This is always, you know, it's not been an awkward one recently, but I used to get such bad tendonitis in my right elbow that I couldn't tense that right arm properly. Lat spread, looking decent. Not the best angle because it's off to the side, but you know, you can see from the back, the rear mirrors, it's working quite well. I don't feel like this is a great shot for me, the side chest, like when I'm full off season. I look a bit smooth here. You don't really get much detail. Plus, I feel like something gets lost in the iPhone videos, but yeah, it's just what we're using here. Rear double, yeah, looks good. Like, waist is wide, but when I come to diet down for competition time, my waist comes right in. I mean, even a 34-inch waist trousers start to get loose, so it really enhances my taper. Rear lat spread, yeah, and I can't argue with that. Even to me, smooth and, you know, not too lean, looks big and dense. Should be an abs and thighs here, I should think. Yeah, so pop those lats out, try and give yourself a nice taper, really squeeze those abs in, and then into a most muscular, nice striations on the chest coming through. As you can see, I'm fucked, and I haven't practiced too much posing. Like, it takes it out of you. People think posing is easy. Like, you try tensing every single muscle in your body, you know, and then holding it for 10 seconds. That, you will be dripping. This is me getting the wheels out as well. Actually looked like there was a couple of striations on the old teardrops. But yeah, like, I always feel like my legs need more. Calves are looking good though. They're looking carved out actually. That wasn't a pun. Well, that wasn't intended anyway. What's this, rear double? Yeah, again, like, calves popping out nicely. Yeah, you can't see shit really with those hamstrings and stuff, but I've been hammering them. Actually, just when I'm bending down to pull my joggers up, seem to look better. You can see a bit more hamstring detail, and that's basically it. So yeah, good session. Really, really good session actually. Like I said, hit some PBs. Yeah, and I was fucking sore, like so sore. But I mean, my training method really is kind of like I said in previous videos, it's kind of like a Dorian-esque, you know, merged with Mike Mensa. Like, you know, I don't feel like one all-out set and then moving on for me gives me enough stimulation to the muscle. So I like to do one heavy set all out. But that heavy set is going to be, you know, really like a minimum of 8 reps. But for things like back and legs, like it's 10 plus, you know, like 10, 12. And then once you've done sort of like 8 or 9 reps with perfect form, it's then about getting those extra reps out, those negatives, those forced reps, keeping that set going until, you know, you almost can't lift the bar or move the machine anymore. Like, that's the sort of failure you need to train with if you're just doing one heavy set. And like Dorian says, if you're doing one heavy set like that, there is absolutely no way you're doing a second one to that intensity or with that weight. And it's true. Like if you train properly for the first one, you train that set, you put everything into that, like you are not replicating that. Not a chance. Like try and do it, even with 5 minutes rest. I guarantee you won't be getting the same form, reps, anything like it. Yeah, you might get close, but what's the point? You've already done your maximal on there, so just stay on in that vein. So after that, I have a decent rest, and I just do the second set, which is a drop down set, which usually on pin loaded stuff, I drop down by 1, 2, 3 plates, sometimes 4, depending on how heavy the first set has been. Yeah, and then knock out as many perfect reps as possible. Yeah, and that's usually between, I try and aim for the sort of 15 mark and then sometimes 20. And then move on to the next exercise and then just keep everything in that format. One heavy set. The only time I'll really do sort of like 6, 7 or 8 reps heavy set on heavy will just be for chest. And that's purely because that's what works best for my chest, really. Any sort of pressing movements like, yeah, 6 to 8 reps for chest, couple of negatives on the end, done. If I try and do 12 to 15 reps on chest, I have to drop the weight so much that, and it doesn't give me the stimulation. I don't get the same soreness the next day. Whereas even to this day, the way I train chest, every single time I get savage DOMs. And, people could say, oh, well, maybe you're not eating enough, maybe your recovery is not good enough, but I'm training every other day. So the next day is a day off after every single session. And my food is all the same. It's all very well structured, loads and loads of calories pre and post workout. So yeah, it's definitely not to do with anything else. Like that is just knowing your body and having an unbelievable mind-muscle connection, which is, as Arnold and so many Olympians have spoken about, is so important. So important. So yeah, that's pretty much the back session. So I'll try and get the next one up in the next week or so. Like I said, let me know if you like the video. Let me know if you want to go over any particular things. And yeah, like I said, support the channel if you can. Comment, like, whatever you want to do. Tell your mates about it. And like I said, open to suggestions. So give us a shout. Peace out.
Rack it up, I gotta build up the bank to make me a safe house.